Glitches can kill your game if you use them right, or wrong. Either way, performing a certain glitch can lead to somewhere you don't need to be. Perform another glitch, and you might end up somewhere else. Create a glitch chain, and it's like running in the dark. You'll keep running blindly until you hit a wall hard. This is a story of how I encountered these glitches, and what happened after I performed them. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of my life, since it's not important. However, I am going to tell you that I love seeing how games work, and how hectic and twisted they can become when glitches happen. It's like splattering paint on a car in a junkyard, really. But enough about it. Why am I here? To tell you what happened with a game that I've been messing around with. I believe you've heard of Super Mario 64. Why, with a game like that, there have to be some crazy and fun glitches, right? Well, there are, and they can get pretty creepy. I put my hard copy of Super Mario 64 into my N64, which is a portable N64 model that I helped build with my friend. So I'm able to access the game at any time, anywhere. Everything was normal. Mario said his usual, "It's-a me, Mario," when his face appeared. I pressed start and selected File A, my 119 star file. The only star I don't have is the Wall Kicks Will Work star, which I delayed for 1 star and eventually forgot all about it and beat the game without it. I started the game on the castle grounds. I head over to the hillside to climb to the top of the castle. I figure I can start there with something. Glitching is like baking a cake. Trying different ways or ingredients can change how it will turn out, so I try everything. I recorded some parts, but with a lousy camera. It fails me and constantly needs to be charged. It needs to be held in a specific way for it to work, and sometimes doesn't work at all. After climbing to the top of the castle, I figured, why not mess with the door's warping code? I decided to pull off the death door glitch. I thought about something after my camera failed. Corner glitching is popular, so I performed a long jump and a triple jump through a nearby corner, one inside the castle, and I made it through and started falling. I then landed on a black ground and took full damage. Mario was about to die, so I paused and saved, then decided to screw it all up by resetting the game whilst it saved. I was brought back to the title screen, but it was all black. The music played, but I couldn't start the game. I restarted it again with the same result. Ah crap, did I break it? I said. I turned the game off altogether and headed over to my friend's house, because we have built a special Nintendo 64 coder where we put an N64 cartridge in and transfer the files to a computer. We looked at the code and decided to remove and replace the entire title screen altogether, as well as remove some of the code. When looking into the code, however, we saw something. We found that the anti-death had fixes used for fixing the game when something goes wrong. For example, glitches. What we found, however, was startling. When we opened it, we found 2 files, glitchfix.zip and reversefix.zip. Glitchfix.zip contained a complicated binary file and not much more. Reversefix.zip, however, contained 4 binary code files, 3 text files, and a picture file containing this picture. Our laptop then froze with this on screen. Then minutes later, went blue screen. This screen was supposed to appear when the game was to take a massive code-breaking glitch or hack. I somehow changed the game's code with the death door, corner lapse, insta-death, save resetting glitch. We got the title screen to work, with everything about it being distorted and glitched. I went ahead to File A. I respawned at the castle grounds and everything was normal. I looked for anything wrong, but everything was there. The roof was normal, the door was there, the cannon was there. The lake and moat were normal. I told myself to perform the death door corner lapse glitch this time, without saving. I performed the glitch flawlessly. After all was done, something went wrong. I spawned in the Bomb battlefield, with the Bowser fight happening there in the middle of the field. I had definitely broken the game. Anyway, I had all the freedom I wanted this time when I fought him. I decided to run while he slowly follows me. Why not see if he'd meet the Bomb King? That'd be another great glitch. After 30 minutes of making him follow, the Bomb King was there, waiting. I led Bowser there while I was in the Bomb King's text box, and then Bowser attacked and killed me. I watched as Mario fell and died, and the screen didn't go black as it normally does. The Bomb King threw Bowser off the mountain afterwards. Then I got the reversefix.zip screen. My portable N64 started to grow hot, really hot, as the gears inside turned fast and loud. Smoke started to build eventually, and it wouldn't let me turn the game off, so it was forced to keep running. Many noises came from the speakers, such as low and high-pitched whale-like noises, telling me the audio was horrifically destroyed by this. It got so hot that I dropped it as smoke kept flowing out of the system. I went to get a fire extinguisher and a rag just in case a fire started. By the time I got back, a small fire had started. It spread quickly. I was yelping and shot the machine with the fire extinguisher. It was put out, but $700 worth of material used to make the thing had now been ruined. I got angry and started cursing. After my emotional episode, I checked out how bad the damage was. It was shocking. Everything was melted. The insides of the game cartridge were also melted. What scared me, however, was the cartridge's face. The cartridge's cover was melted and looked somewhat similar to the reversefix.zip's death screen. I tossed out the portable N64 and headed over to my friend's house. Well, at least that's what I did the next day. The Nintendo 64 scanner did surprisingly transfer the data from the cartridge, but only about half of the cartridge's original data. The data was also corrupted. After we transferred the data, the computer ran like crazy, and then pulled up a photo of an angered Mario. What the heck is this? A message to not download copyrighted content? Why the heck is this here? I was confused, angered, and disappointed. The next event shocked me again. My friend spoke up. "I never knew," he said. "What?" I said. "I never knew that when I gave you this." "Knew what?" My voice higher in tone. "This is an illegal copy and someone's hacked it. I never knew that when I gave it to you, and..." The computer started to run and once again produce smoke. This wasn't an ordinary hacked illegal copy. It was the worst virus to ever exist. The computer started to melt slowly, and a little got caught on my friend's hand. He screamed, shouted and yelled, and cried as the machine melted in his hand. I ran to get cold water and tried to pull his finger out of the metallic goo, but it was extremely hot, and he was screaming. He banged his head into the wall as he tried to pull his hand out. His nose bled worse and worse with each bang. I eventually pulled his hand out to see that it had melted deep into his hands. Tissue opened blood vessels and even bone. I rushed him to the hospital and he underwent surgery. I found out later that night that the metal, fumes and everything from the laptop had damaged his hand badly. They found that the metal had entered his bloodstream. He didn't live another hour since I was told that. I went back home, depressed and ready to prepare a funeral. It made me so angry and sad that suicide filled my body. Before I could contact all of my friends and family, I got a text message from an unknown number. 605-270-7774. The translation of this: System Corruption 64. So that was 64, Super Mario 64 Creepypasta, and I both liked it and didn't like it. So first of all, the parts that I did like, the whole idea of this game that had been a ROM hack that someone had put a virus into, that's really cool. You'd had these error messages of the creepy Mario picture with his eyes crossed out. That stuff was really cool. I like that aspect of it. The fact that the player was a glitch hunter, you know, it's a pretty different angle, that the player is going out of their way to break the game and try to look for glitches and bugs and exploits in the game. The fact that the player and his friend built their own custom portable N64 didn't really add anything to the story. I mean, the story would have worked if it was just a regular Nintendo 64 console, so I'm not sure why that was made such a big deal of. But the stuff with them being able to hack cartridges or investigate issues with cartridges with the computer, that stuff was pretty cool. So the thing that really ruined this creepypasta for me was actually the ending, because it's so ludicrous, it's so dumb, and it doesn't really make sense. So it's like the computer melts because of this virus, and then the melted computer goes onto the hand of the person's friend, which then melts their hand, so they have to go to hospital. And it's like, it's just really silly, it's really ludicrous. And I suppose if you're trying to have this supernatural element, maybe some sort of supernatural force made this happen. But before that, it was really grounded in reality, so I don't really buy there being any sort of supernatural force in this story, whether that's intentional or not. But everything before that I thought was quite strong and I really liked it. But up until it got to that part where the protagonist's friend dies due to the computer melting, I thought that was ridiculous, honestly. And it's a shame because everything before had so much effort put into it. Like, there are screenshots and there were videos provided, but unfortunately those video links are no longer available, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the video in the title card. So to conclude, I did like the majority of the story aside from the ending. I like the attention to detail with the images, I like the detail given by the author with what issues they were seeing, how they were performing certain glitches to try to get certain things to happen in the game. And it was overall, it was a solid pasta until the ending, as I'd mentioned. So that's the end of this video. As always, I'm taking requests for creepy gaming pastas, as well as general creepypastas. Feel free to join the Discord. The link is actually in the description of this video. So that's it from me for today. Bread out.